By providing space for constant evolution, we can all transform how we view ourselves and the world around us.
I am very thankful to be here today on behalf of the students who invited me to come and share my story of transformation, and one that has taken me from Africa all the way here to Santa Barbara with you guys. I'm Fleurie Leclercq. I'm the proud mama of 3 beautiful children. I was born in Cameroon, and for many years I called that beautiful land my home. It was beautiful, and not just because of the vast landscape, incredible fauna and flora, amazing natural resources, but also because of the values and traditions of my family who raised me. And their value, I belonged. My matriarchal grandmother, Mamie Marguerite, taught me the importance of taking care of me and those around me, be it family, friend, neighbor, the home. She told me that we all have a part to play, all of us. She always said that we were part of this beautiful musical instrument. We could create a beautiful harmony together when we use our art, or we could create disturbance, cacophonies, when we use our egos. So those words always stuck with me, and I always try to reflect them. Moving to France when I was 10 years old was a culture shock, as I'm sure you can imagine. The change in weather alone was enough to want to pack my bag and head back home. But that wasn't an option for me, and not all the changes were bad, don't get me wrong. In many ways, I was like a kid in a candy store, a massive candy store with baguette, croissants, and just like, all culture around. So, and the technology. For the first time, I was in a home with a television. As a 10 years old, I felt I was in paradise. I could be programmed with all this programming on the television. And that was definitely very interesting because I started receiving different messaging from what I was used to. I had always been told to take care of those around me and to understand that we're all part of the circle. And now the message I perceived was more like, it's about you, do you, and as long as you're fine, who really cares about the other person over there? So it was disturbing. And I also saw interesting opposition, for example, between parents and children. They were even advertising on the television telling you that if your parent did something wrong, call this number. And I keep on thinking to myself, how are they going to take care of you? How did they know who you are? It was always very disturbing to me because it seemed to oppose, not unite. When I moved to America, I wanted to get a bite of the big apple that everyone gets so excited about. That big flashy place called Times Square, I wanted to go there. But when I get there, I find myself asking, what am I chasing? Actually, I don't want this big shiny thing, and this apple is too big for my stomach anyway. I just want happiness. I want balance. And I started reading and realizing that maybe it was possible to attain a state of mind where you feel at peace and balance. But I had to be aware. I had to be careful about what I was feeding my mind or allowing my mind to be programmed with. Because a lot of programming can be destructive, especially all the fear-based ones. I noticed that what you think affects how you feel. And it also affects the reality around you. And that's because we all create from our minds. The Corpus Hermeticum, or the Hermetica, it's a book written between the years 100 and 300 years AD, states that the universe is mental. It's called the principle of mentalism, that for anything to exist, a thought must proceed. So that means that we all create from our minds. So our purpose should be then to align our individual mind and brain with the mind of the infinite intelligence or consciousness that designed this matrix in which we are. So then we can grow like organically, naturally, in balance. And that leads me to a stereo stories I wrote about 4 children called I Am a Creator, I Have Power. Each child has a very different background, from Africa to Asia to North America to South America. They all have a different setup. just to show that no matter the color of your skin, no matter your background, if you're rich or poor, or no matter what happened to you, you're still magnificent and sovereign. And having lived myself in different continents, I know how the spirit of strength and love could exist in balance. I gave each child in these stories the same series of mantras. Mantras are very important to me because I believe that mantras are the way that you speak to your inner self. Here they are. I am a creator, I have power. I shape my world every hour. Imagination paints my thoughts. I help others, I help a lot as I was taught. Words are magic, yes they are. Words are beauty, they vibrate far. Being healthy makes me free. By being happy, I can be who I want to be. My greatest power is the love I show. I use it on everyone I know. So those mantras are part of a series of fictional stories, but there is a universal truth embedded in these words. I am here to call for integrity, to call for balance, to call for love. How do we find the balanced state of mind for ourselves, our communities, our children? The mantra I shared embody what I went through as a newcomer. Writing was just one way of me to embrace the change, but also recognizing at the same time the importance of sticking to my African roots. I am finding that balance between my left brain, my more rational side, my right brain, my more creative side. There is an Egyptian temple proverb that says, growth in consciousness doesn't depend on the will of the intellect or its possibilities, but on the intensity of the inner urge. When I moved, it seemed to me that the evolution of our humanity was leading us away from that creative side, that inner urge, if you will. So words, mantras, and stories are how I'm bringing balance to myself and my world. I wrote and I still write because I want to inspire children, and especially my brothers and sisters from Africa, who I feel like for such a long time have been deprived of their true history and power. I wish for all of us to be able to embrace change while at the same time understanding the value in being who we each are. Every day I dream of a society that empowers our children by helping them to understand their self, but also their sovereignty. I want them to remember that they are strong creators and with the will to really manifest a life-giving reality and one in harmony with the power and the value within them. One of the stories I wrote, Moses the Rudder Bearer, is about a child from a village in Africa inspired by the same one I grew up in. Moses' actions are very simple. He gathers water, uses it to help nourish a growing lily, and give his family something to drink. While it may seem simple, there is so much power in that tiny action. And that is the key I want our children to understand. Once they find the power in themselves, then they can really shape the world outside them. When we recognize that we truly have power, then together we can truly achieve balance. One individual may not be able to alter all society, but every one of our actions has a rippling effect, like a drop of water from a jar, or the flutter of a butterfly's wings. That really shows the truly supernatural power that we all have. Helping someone carry their grocery may inspire them to reach out to other people in the community. Helping someone who's struggling instead of judging might give them the boost they need to have a good day, and that could also impact the life of all those around them. Awareness of who we are, meaning our thoughts, intention, our fears, all the thoughts inside that we have and no one can see, is essential to understand oneself and also the reality around us. The harmonization of our masculine and feminine side, meaning our heart and brain, is really necessary to be able to connect with the power of the Creator within. We are always changing, and our society is changing as well, either we realize it or not. And I think it's time to acknowledge our actions and change our ways when they do not serve the greater good. One tiny weight is enough to create balance. If we ignore the fact that we are all creators and don't become conscious of our thoughts, actions, and creations, then we waste the most powerful gift we have. I want us to awaken to the fact that we are perfectly designed, and together we can create greatness. Remember, our universe is mental. We create from our minds, so we really need to be vigilant with what we're feeding one another, and especially our youngest minds. Where are we putting our energy? Are we just following us like sheep? Are we fighting for harmony? Are we just seeking to help ourselves? If we only help ourselves, then we cannot be at peace, as our internal and external world must be in balance. My purpose in telling stories is to inspire others, and especially children. Like Moses the water bearer, we are all creators. And as we build that reality, we can help others around them find their balance. We live in a world where money talks very loud, trying to convince us that if we don't have the latest gadget or latest injections, then we are obsolete. It's an illusion, because the true power resides in your integrity, in your words, in your authenticity, in your true self. And that's our mission, is to find the true self. So, think about ways you can encourage harmony. We can do it this afternoon by something as simple as a smile. But don't limit yourself, because each and every one of us are capable of helping bring balance in our world. Thank you, Laguna Blanca, for having me today. It's such an amazing program. I've been really amazed to see the kids work. Thank you for having me.